Hello, darling first graders. I don't think we've had the pleasure of meeting, but my name is Mrs. Snodgrass. This is definitely not Mrs. Toth, it's Mrs. Snodgrass, everyone. Anyway, today we are going to start making our animal ears, or horns, or antlers, for our first grade performance with Mrs. Newsom. You are going to be singing a bunch of different songs all about animals, and you're going to be wearing hats with animal ears on them while you sing. The perfect thing is that animal ears are organic shapes. Yes, so this is a perfect project to do right now because we know all about organic shapes. They're kind of crazy shapes, weird shapes, and we're going to use those to create animal ears with them. Let's get started. In order to make your animal ears, you will need a bunch of stuff. You're going to need to choose which animal ears or horns or antlers that you want in the first place. We have deer antlers, bull horns. These are really ears that go with many different animals. It could go with a cat, even a dog that had pointy ears, or a fox. So those ears go with a lot of different animals. We have bunny ears and little baby cute elephant ears. They're definitely not real size, are they? No. Then you will need a large piece of white paper. I'll tell you what you need that for in just a second. Later on, you're going to need a big long piece of white paper. That's going to be the headband where you glue the ears. You will need paint to decorate everything, and you'll also need some glue and scissors along the way. So, let's get this crazy thing started, shall we? First, pick your favorite animal ears. Then, take the piece of paper from before, big white piece of paper, and you are actually going to glue the ears onto the big white paper. And here's why. The paper that the ears are on right now is very thin. We need to make it thicker so that it stands up like ears do. So that's why we're doing this. And you are simply going to put glue all around the edges and all in the middle, and then flip the ears back over to the correct side carefully and put it right in the middle of the big paper, then smooth it out. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the time when we put mats onto our string prints. Wow. We had to glue a big piece of paper in the middle of another piece of paper. It was cool. Write your name and code on the back. Make sure you do this before you start painting it. Now quickly, before we use color, let's talk about these gray areas here. The gray areas should not be painted. We are going to fold the paper to hide the gray part. So you are only going to paint the white part of the ear. All of the ears have a gray area. Look, the bunny ears. You're not going to paint that part. The elephant ears have gray parts. Don't paint those. The horns also. Don't paint the gray part. And lastly, the antlers too. Anyway, now that you know what not to paint, let's put some paint on these ears. You can use any colors you like, realistic or not. I decided to use my cat's ear colors, which are orange and yellow. So here we go. This needs to dry before we do anything else with it. So that's done, and it goes in the drying rack. When you are finished with your ears, you may start decorating your headband. Remember, this is going to be wrapped in a circle. It's going to go on your head, and the ears are going to go on each side of this. So now you get to decorate it with paint. First, put your name and code on it. And flip it over like any other piece of paper. That's the side we're going to decorate with paint today. Make sure you don't paint over your name so that you can see it when it's time to do the show. That way we can give it back to you before the show so you can wear it. Okay, this piece of paper is very, very long. So I suggest putting it horizontally on your table and putting the paint and water cup above you. And I also suggest painting half of the paper at a time because it's so long. Do the pinch and twist with this part for sure. And then start decorating. One half at a time. Because you want to have half of the paper nice and clean so that you can move it around and touch it while you're painting and finishing. And then give it a second to dry a bit before you paint the other side. This just helps make less of a mess. While you're waiting a few minutes, you could get fresh water, you could go clean your hands up a little bit, but when you're ready to go, paint the other side. Oh my goodness, I just had to take a moment to go get myself a wet rag and clean up my hands a bit before we continue. This is done. It needs to go in the drying rack now. It needs to stay horizontal when you put it into the drying rack. Don't try to put it the long way. Put it in the drying rack horizontally. Then put your paint on your tray. Put your water cup on the counter, please, next to the sink. And wipe your table. The next step is to let the ears and the headband totally dry so that we can put it all together. I'm so excited. Okay, everything is finally dry. We need to cut out our ears and glue them onto our headbands. Also, we need to measure our heads like this, wrap it around your head to get the right size, and Mrs. Toth will help you, Mrs. Snodgrass, no, Mrs. Toth will help you staple the headband. Let's get started cutting these ears out. The cool part is that little mistake there got cut right off. See? Recycle your scraps and let's fold and glue these ears. Okay, awesome. Just wanted to tell you one more thing. The backs of your ears are going to stay white. The audience won't be able to see the white part of the ears because they're going to be in front of you. So don't worry about the backs of the ears. Let's get our heads measured, shall we? You need to put the long piece of paper around your head and wrap it until it's comfortably tight. It needs to be able to go down almost over your ears. When it's ready and measured, I'm going to help you staple it closed into a circle. When that's done, you need to fold on the gray line. Check it out. I'm going to fold it right where that gray starts. And I'm going to use the table to help me. How nice. Thank you, table. Great. So this part right here, that's where we're going to put the glue so that there's a flat area and it can stick nicely to the headband. See? The other ear is going to go on the other side. It also needs to be folded to hide the gray part. So you kind of test it out first. And when you've got most of the grey part hidden, you're going to crease it. Put glue on it and stick it to the opposite side of the other ear. So let's do this real quick. What do you think? This is me wearing the cat ears and saying meow. Ha! Hope you like this project. Good luck with your ears, my love, and have a good day. Bye-bye.